times, cotton mill girls. Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times everywhere. Steady Hands was originally, started off as just being about 6 women working in an environment in Manchester. We weren't too sure where, and pretty quickly we decided that women working in a cotton mill would be really interesting to explore. And it covers sort of the friendships, and it looks at all their sort of personal struggles that they're having post-war, loss and sort of home life. Girls, hard times everywhere.
So, the cotton goes in and the product comes out, totally transformed. We come in and come out again, the same.
For many decades, Lancashire was at the heart of the cotton industry. The mills provided hundreds of jobs for local women, just like the women we see in Steady Hands. Women just like Carol.
I started at 15 in the cotton mills. I worked there for 28 years. I started out sweeping the floor, and then I became what was called a doffer, then moved on to a spinner. Lots and lots of fond memories. I think mostly the camaraderie. You tended, if you went to work in the mill and you fit in, then you stayed.
Christ on a bike, have you seen him? What I do to him?
Nah, don't do it for me.
Oh, he is carrying a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, but Con, you don't do anything with big packages, do you, Con?
Shut it, Donna.
When I went for the interview, there were 3 people that came into the room just to ask him questions, and I happened to know them all. And he said, oh, well, you might as well come and bloody work here, you know every bugger. And I got the job, and it was really good fun. It was all about making people laugh and enjoying the work.
Oh, look at the smile on Doris's face. We all know what she's got.
A pickle! My Norm always makes me smile with a bit of pickle.
Yeah, Doris, does he tickle you with his pickle there?
He does, yeah.
Doris, honestly.
There's many themes that we touch upon in the play. Predominantly, I think the main one is friendship.
Yeah.
Mainly because that's the thing that ties us all together, ties the whole thing together.
You did tend to know one another's business because you lived in the same community, a lot of you. So sometimes that could be a good thing, sometimes that could be a bad thing, depending what you got up to at home. But yeah, you did tend to know each other's business, and as I said, in times of hardship, then people would rally round.
So how's your dad, love?
Keeps waking up with night terrors.
My boy Tony used to get them night terrors. What you've got to do is get a nice cold flannel and pop it on his forehead, and then just talk to him, you know, all calming like. That should help.
Thanks, Doris.
When we first started the writing for Donna, she was quite a quiet character at the beginning, but as we developed her, we kind of got to know that she had this really bad relationship at home. Her husband knocked her around a lot, she drank a lot, so to relate it to me, I have had quite a rough relationship in the past, so it was easy in a sense of relating back to emotions that I'd been through, but at the same time it was really difficult to try and keep it just for stage. You know, you're not letting the emotions come back and thinking of things that had happened to you individually, but it was also an amazing thing to have to be able to put into Donna, because I think it made her such a strong, realistic character because there was true feeling in it. I think that came through in quite a lot of Donna's character.
I'm sorry. What did you just say? Well, yeah, he does like a drink, but then it wouldn't be a normal night for me, would it, if I didn't come home and find him passed out on the bathroom floor? I'm sorry. Have I made you feel a bit uncomfortable, have I? Has the thought of my husband passed out on the bathroom floor, covered in his own vomit, made you feel a little bit uncomfortable, has it?
Like, the past relationship has always been really negative, where I've been able to use it now and create something really, really positive, and I've been able to put it into a piece of drama that I've absolutely loved doing, and I can kind of look back now and go, well, thank you for that, because it's made me do a piece of theatre, you know, and produce a character that I've absolutely fell in love with. So I've definitely used it as a positive, yeah. I'd say so.
Is it all right if I bring my brew in? You don't have any biscuits, do you? No. I've always thought that a brew's better when you got a biscuit.
We did get characters, yeah, you really did. I remember when I first started there at 15, and I used to say sweep the floor, and there was a lady in the ring room then who was a spinner who was 78 years old, because people tended not to retire. She was 78 years old, she was still doing 6 to 210 shifts, and what she would do, she ran 8 spinning frames, but she would just pot around 2, and all the other spinners in the room, they would take on her frame.
Sorry, I've been told I can go on a bit. Well, I'm Doris, with a double R. People always forget the second R. Me, I'm a winder. Yeah, always have been. All I've known. All my mother said I was good for. But I don't mind it. And the girls here are lovely.
So Doris is about 60 years old. She's quite a dim old lady, set in her ways, tries to please everybody, likes to gab quite a lot. She was important to the whole cast, I think, to be in there, to be that older model of women compared to the rest of the group.
Mr. Leon was good fun though. He used to say to me, like, pin your knickers to that chair. I mean, you wouldn't say that today, would you? And I used to say, what makes you think I've got any knickers on? And he'd go, oh my God, Maureen, what you, oh, like this. But he knew it was just a joke. It was just fun. You know, nothing was taken serious. Yeah, it was good fun. And I used to, every night, especially from Jack Leon's, I used to ring up my boyfriend then and tell him what had happened during the day. And really, I wish I'd written it down, because it could have made a good comedy.
Right, come on then, Con, what have you got? Looks great.
Well, I have got 2 right big doorstop slices of white bread with a full tin of corned beef.
Oh,
yes.
My dad likes corned beef.
We've done it.
I love corned beef.
I know. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got.
We all know what you've got. Anna.
I don't know.
Had cheese last week.
So the play is centred around 6 female characters set in a cotton mill in the 50s, and it's set in one particular day, which is quite an important day, when at the end of the play you realise that the cotton mill's been closed down. Because of the friendships that they've made from there, it's devastating when they find out that it's going to be closed, and the audience gain a bit of perspective to know that they'd be lost without that environment. They sort of take it for granted a little bit.
I've got a friend who, she's the same age as me, and she's worked in the industry all her life, and she gets a real buzz out of it, but nothing's made in Britain, it's all made offshore, and she's in Morocco now, wheeling and dealing, you know what I mean? So some of our factories have disappeared. Well, most of the you know, Manchester was a real hub, that's all gone, and it's sad. So.
One of the big things with the factories, one of the main things that made it so bad when a factory did shut, was because you had families, weren't there? So you would have mothers, fathers, children, grandchildren, an entire family could work in that factory. So when that factory closed, an entire family was out of work.
Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times everywhere. Worked in a cotton mill.
Because of how close we all were as a friendship group, you can take that and put that anywhere in any sort of time period, and it'd still be effective, you know. Yeah.
There's still people that are gay but can't really tell anybody. There's still people getting abused. There's still old people that don't know what's going on.
Or their families died in the war, you know. Still stuff.
Yeah, still people that are just completely oblivious to how terrible their life is.
I think it just pointed out the fact that in that time we couldn't really do much about it, whereas maybe now you could.
More of a voice these days.
Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times, cotton mill girls. Hard times everywhere.